My sister stole my wedding spotlight, so I gave her a day to remember. Before we begin the story, make sure to subscribe to our channel and never miss more incredible stories every day. The room tilts when the band pauses mid-chorus, and every head turns toward Olivia. She's under the chandelier, bathed in a flood of confetti-white uplighting that wasn't in the plan, holding a velvet ring box I've never seen. I'm Emma. Color-coded spreadsheets, soft boundaries until they're not, and the bride who told the DJ one thing. No surprises. The reception is at its peak, plates cleared, vows still ringing in my ears, and my sister is smiling like she invented fire. The mic she's holding? Not on our rental order. The monogrammed spotlight at her heels? Also not ours. Ethan squeezes my hand. Then let's go, like he already knows what's coming. Tonight, Olivia purrs, is about love, family, and new beginnings. Laughter, clinking glasses. She lifts the box and the ballroom hushes. I feel the careful scaffolding of the day, paid deposits, revised timelines, hairpins and promises, shiver out of place. My mother dabs her eyes. Aunt Rosa, from the corner, barely shakes her head. I breathe through the corset and try to remember my rule. I will not be baited on my wedding day. I made that rule because Olivia collects spotlights the way some people collect candles. Different sizes, same purpose. Growing up, she rerouted every holiday toward herself with accidental announcements and dramatic reveals nobody asked for. We learned to roll our eyes. But this is my name on the place cards and my vows in the air. Ethan murmurs, "Look at me, Em." His voice is steady, but his jaw tightens. Olivia taps the box. You all deserve a surprise. The screen behind the band flares to life. A slideshow starts, not ours, and I catch the planner's eyes widening from across the room. Kira mouths, "Wasn't me. I taste metal. I can feel it. There's only one way this kind of stunt happens. Planning, payment, passwords. Somewhere, someone let my sister hold the keys." I reach into my clutch and feel the cool rectangle of my phone, the folder named Receipts, and a plan I never wanted to execute on my wedding night. The projector brightens, the first stolen image blooms, and Olivia inhales to drop the bomb. I step forward and say, loud enough to stop the room, "Not tonight, Olivia." When we were kids, Olivia choreographed attention like a sport. At 10, she faked a sprained ankle during my piano recital and sobbed until the teacher stopped the music. At 13, she announced a business launch that turned out to be selling my bath bombs on Facebook. Nobody corrected her because she looked so radiant when the room tilted her way. Mom said, "She's passionate, the way meteorologists say. It's only a Category 1. My fresh wound arrived 2 weeks ago, 3 days after my final dress fitting. I posted a photo from the seamstress's studio, laced like frost, the neckline I cried over because it felt like me. Olivia texted, "So classic. I'm thinking of wearing white too, but like a jumpsuit." I typed, "Please don't," and deleted it. I typed, "That's a hard no," deleted that too. I sent, "Maybe a pale blue?" She replied with a selfie in ivory silk and the caption, "This is cream, not white. Chill." At dinner last Monday, she toasted Ethan and me, then turned the glass toward herself. Quick update. I've been consulting for a talent agency. Big things coming. Mom gasped. Aunt Rosa tapped her water glass twice. Tiny, patient knocks. After, Rosa helped me label escort cards. "Your sister is a storm that believes it's sunshine," she said. "Storms don't ask permission. They arrive. You build roofs." I promised myself, no scenes, no fights. My wedding would be about love and good boundaries. Ethan kept pace with me through late-night vendor emails and a dozen timeline tweaks. "Whatever happens," he said, "we stick together." I believed that vow before we spoke it. 2 days later, Olivia sent a group text adding herself as co-host for the rehearsal dinner and MC helper at the reception. Kira emailed asking who authorized the changes. I said nobody. Olivia sent a voice memo, syrupy. "Just trying to help, babe." I stared at my screen until my reflection threatened to cry. Then I put my phone face down and practiced smiling in the mirror I'd chosen for photos, promising I could out-organize a hurricane. So why did the florist call asking if we still wanted the surprise flower shower over the dance floor? The first mix-up landed like a pebble in my shoe. Tiny, ignorable, relentless. The baker emailed to confirm a second cake for the special announcement. I wrote back, "No second cake. Please proceed with the lemon elderflower only. She replied, got it, though your sister already paid a deposit. My scalp prickled. Paid. With whose authorization? 30 minutes later, Kira forwarded a revised reception timeline I'd never seen, inserting a 10-minute, unlisted segment after first dance. The file name read Olivia_rewrite_final3. PDF. I called Kira. I didn't approve that. She exhaled through her nose like she'd been holding it all week. I know. I'm locking the master timeline. Please send me a list of who can authorize changes. Only me? I said. Me and Ethan. Then we have a problem, she said. Because someone booked extra lighting under your event code. I wanted to believe this was Olivia's usual vanity, nothing worse. Then my dress-fitting accident happened. My bustle loops had been snipped, clean as a paper cut. The seamstress looked stricken. It's fixable, but who handled this? Only 2 people touched the gown that day. Me and Olivia. When she insisted on hugging me to test the fabric. I swallowed the suspicion because suspicion tastes like shame when you're a bride trying not to be mean. I texted Olivia, please stop making changes without me. She replied instantly, don't be paranoid. You'll thank me later, promise. Ethan said, do you want me to say something? No, I said. I want to be wrong. That night, I lay awake cataloging every small concession I had made to keep the peace. Letting Olivia sit next to Mom at the ceremony. Letting her give a toast. Letting her borrow my makeup artist for 15 minutes. When the DJ called to confirm a playlist swap, our curated set replaced with Olivia's surprise, I asked for the timestamp on the request. He read it out, 1:12 a.m. while I was asleep, and the authorization note included my initials in a font I never use. I stared at the ceiling until a pattern revealed itself I could no longer pretend not to see. The next morning, I opened a folder on my phone and named it Receipts. Rehearsal evening. Olivia arrived in a silk slip the exact temperature of snow. The venue lights caught it and bleached the color from every other dress in the room. Mom whispered, it's cream, like a prayer, like a dare. Ethan's eyes met mine, a silent check-in, then his hand at the small of my back. We took our places. Kira walked us through cues. Aunt Rosa stood at the aisle end, counting beats on her fingers, orchestrating grace. On the second run, Olivia accidentally triggered the DJ's mic and announced, tomorrow, after the first dance, I have a gift for the couple. Guests clapped. Kira's clipboard didn't move, but her eyes did, straight to me. I smiled like anesthetic. After the run, Olivia cornered me by the coat rack. I know you're anxious, she said low, but you want a magical night, right? Let me handle the sparkle. I thought about the bustle loops, the extra lighting, the second cake, and how the ballroom felt like it had invisible strings I wasn't holding. No more surprises, I said, careful. Please respect our plan. She tilted her head. You can't gatekeep Joy M. Joy doesn't need authorization codes, I said. Her mouth twitched. You always make me the villain. I don't, I said. You write your own role. Back at our apartment, Ethan studied the timeline beside me. We can tell Kira to shut down anything not in writing. We did, I said. And someone keeps finding the side door. He put his palm over mine. So we board the side door. That night, a cousin DM'd me a story Olivia posted. A boomerang of the ballroom ceiling with the caption, tomorrow we flip the script. I screenshotted it, added it to receipts, and stared at the ceiling fan until dawn sliced the room into honest light. In the morning, Kira forwarded an invoice for extra mic, wireless, quantity, 1, billed to my event, paid by someone with my email but a different IP address. Aunt Rosa called at 9. Me more, she said, document everything. And remember, the quiet plan survives the loud storm. What plan? I asked, because I hadn't let myself admit I might need one. The plan you make when you stop hoping she'll stop, she said. And that was the last peaceful sentence I heard before the projector flickered alive. By midnight after the rehearsal, my phone glows with messages that all say the same thing in different fonts. Let it go for one night. Mom calls first, whispering like gossip can't travel if you exhale softly. Sweetheart, Olivia only wants to make it special. Don't ruin your own wedding being rigid. I pinched the bridge of my nose. I am not being rigid. I'm asking for my plan back. She sighs. Your plan is lovely, but surprises are memorable. I hang up before I say the kind of sentence you can't take back. Ethan carries 2 glasses of water to the couch. You want to cancel the toasts? He asks. Just Olivia's, I say, then wince at my own pettiness. He sits. We promised ourselves. No scenes, but also no surrender. I nod, but the room smells like a decision I don't want to make. By 2 a.m., cousins are forwarding me Olivia's group texts about saving the reception energy and a moment that will break the internet. I type 3 versions of a boundary and delete them all. Aunt Rosa sends a single dot, then calls. Listen to me, she says. You have 2 jobs tomorrow. Marry Ethan and protect that peace. Everything else is a detail. What if the details are knives? I ask. Then you put them on the table, gently. I swallow. Mom thinks I'm overreacting. Mothers want harmony. Daughters need honesty, she answers. Those are different gods. The worst part is the doubt. I loop back through old complaints, the family nickname for my caution, Emma the editor, and wonder if I am editing joy. I scroll my camera roll to the mock-ups I made when the venue was just a brochure. I remember mapping outlets and counting candles and crying when the sample centerpiece looked exactly like home. Ethan tucks my feet under a blanket. Say the word, he murmurs, and I'll uninvite her toast in a single text. Not yet, I say, and I hate that the words feel like a gamble. At dawn, I turn my phone face down and practice my vows out loud. The day arrives like a stage manager, efficient and unbothered. I decide to protect the peace and keep the toasts. I decide against the trap I'm already sketching. I decide to believe my sister one last time. But belief shatters fast when a stranger wheels in an extra projector. The stranger is young, harried, and wearing a polo with the AV vendor's logo. He checks the room number and says, secondary projector for the surprise sequence? Kira appears so fast it feels choreographed. There is no surprise sequence, she says, sugary steel. He shrugs and points to a work order with my event code, a balance paid, and a signature that looks like my name got dressed in Olivia's handwriting. I take a picture. Date, 9:42 a.m. IP address, unfamiliar. Payment, last 4 digits I don't recognize. Receipts. In the bridal suite, I'm zipped into the dress and trying to make my breathing a soft skill. Olivia breezes in, just checking on my favorite bride. Aunt Rosa steps between us, subtle as a lighthouse. We're set, she says. Olivia smiles around her. Don't be mad about yesterday. People just like fun. I keep my eyes on the mirror. Fun is consent, I say, and I watch her pupils tighten like doors. She pulls out lip gloss, my shade, from my makeup bag, and says, relax. Let me add shine. Kira coughs. Hands off the bride unless you're on my list. Olivia laughs, but puts the gloss back. Kira texts me screenshots, an altered run of show with a 10-minute gift reveal and added audio cues. This is the 4th revision attempt, she writes. All through an alias, Emma Plan 2. I feel the old shame of being labeled rigid dissolve into a clean, useful anger. I forward everything to a hidden email thread titled Documentation, where Aunt Rosa and Ethan sit like bookends on either side of my sanity. Ethan replies, I've asked the DJ to ignore any cue not from me or Kira. He agreed. Aunt Rosa writes, time is a river, we'll build a bridge. Then, the concrete clue the universe uses to nudge cowards into action. My cousin Megan forwards a screenshot of Olivia's message in a bridesmaid side chat. Mic check at 8:45, cue balloon drop, then announcement. It's stamped with a rehearsal booking confirmation for the exact ballroom at 11 p.m. Last night under, oh, hail, engagement reveal. I stare. Engagement. My wedding. The barefaced arithmetic of it clarifies the air. I thumb open receipts, add the evidence, and feel a plan assemble itself like magnets pulling into alignment. Once you start looking, the pattern doesn't hide. It performs. The florist's invoice includes a line item for a midnight flower shower paid by co-host. The DJ's log shows 2 playlist swaps, mine at 3 p.m., Olivia's at 1:12 a.m., with a note. Use Olivia's for surprise, revert if bride insists. The seating chart software shows edits at 6:27 a.m. from an admin account named M_editor, moving Olivia to a table dead center by the dance floor. Each artifact has a timestamp. Each timestamp tells a story. Every story says, she planned this. I text Kira. Please send me the vendor list with contact names and the exact access rules each uses. She replies in minutes, efficient kindness in bullet points. I call the AV vendor, who added equipment under my code. He hesitates, then says, "We had an authorization email from your account, from a different domain." I brief, "Please forward it as a PDF." He does. The email header is the smoking gun, a burner domain with my first name spliced to a generic server and the signature block scraped from my actual emails. I forward this to Aunt Rosa. She replies with a single line, "Quiet plan, confirmed." In a corner of the hallway outside the ballroom, I interview the banquet manager between her walkie pings. "Did anyone book rehearsal space late last night?" She checks her tablet. "Yes, 15 minutes, small sound check." "Oh, hail." She looks up. "Is that okay?" "It's educational," I say, and thank her. Kira meets me by the service elevator, holding a manila folder like a talisman. "Everything you asked for," she says. "And, Emma, my contract protects you. If someone abuses access, we backstop." I could cry. Instead, I squeeze her hand. On my way back to the bridal suite, I pass Olivia slipping a stack of white balloons into a storage room. She sees me see her. For one honest second, her face is unlit by charm. It's just effort, calculation, hunger. Then the smile resets. "No peeking," she calls. In the mirror, I pin on the veil and whisper to myself, "Consent, proof, reveal." Back in the suite, Ethan kisses my forehead. "You ready?" he asks. "To marry you, yes," I say. "To be your witness. Always," he answers. And then the ceremony music begins before I can decide whether I'm brave enough to stop her tonight. We marry. The vows land like anchors in soft soil and somehow hold. For 30 minutes, the world shrinks to Ethan's hands and the steady metronome of our promises. I believe, with a child's relief, that maybe Olivia will obey the decorum of church steps and ring exchanges. Then, during family photos, Kira pulls me aside. "Your card on file attempted a charge for secondary stage riser at 7:02 p.m. Declined. Someone is still trying." The hope dissolves into a colder clarity. This isn't mischief. It's a structured takeover. The what solidifies, an engagement reveal, engineered to crest at our reception peak, supported by balloons, confetti, a second cake, and extra lighting. The why remains smoke, envy, a sponsorship deal, a viral moment she can monetize. Aunt Rosa flips open a pocket notebook. "The risks," she says, "are bigger than dignity. They're financial. If vendors follow her cues, you're liable for mishaps and fees." We look at the projector hoisted by a temporary rig not rated for a balloon drop. I see it. A guest getting hit, a lawsuit, headlines. "We can't let that happen," I say. "We won't," Rosa says. "But we will let the truth present itself." I send 2 texts. One to Kira authorizing her to cut any unvetted cue on site. One to Ethan confirming our hand signal if Olivia tries the mic. He replies with a single emoji, the hand raised to stop, and I laugh, sharp, then inhale the scent of my bouquet like it's medicine. A bridesmaid brings news. Olivia's boyfriend, Matt, arrived carrying a velvet box. He's jittery, practicing a speech under his breath by the bar. So it's real. On my wedding night, my sister intends to get engaged in front of my guests using my vendors. Kira whispers, "I can have security remove the mic at the first hint." I shake my head. Not yet. Because removing a mic fixes a symptom, Olivia would switch to another stunt and claim persecution. I need context, not chaos. I need receipts to speak, not me. We take our first dance, and I see the extra spotlight warming up behind the band, a pale sun about to rise over someone else's horizon. When the band goes on break and guests drift toward the dessert tables, I step into the coat room with Aunt Rosa and Kira like we're ducking into a war room. "We do this clean," I say. "No shouting, no dragging, no slander." Kira's eyes gleam. "I can route the projector feed to the side screens and display whatever you choose." Rosa taps her notebook. "You choose the order. Contract snippets, emails, timestamps, then the finale." "The finale?" I ask. "A calm statement. Tonight is for Emma and Ethan. Another night is for you." We outline the backbone. Evidence deck. 5 slides. Large font. Names redacted except Olivia's, because she used her own. Start with the altered run of show, then the AV order with the burner domain, then the rehearsal booking confirmation, then the florist invoice for the flower shower, and finally the group chat screenshot with engagement reveal. Kira preps a laptop at the tech table. Rosa procures a clicker like a magician retrieving a rabbit. Ethan appears, reading my face. "You're sure?" he asks. "Yes," I say. "This won't be a spectacle. It'll be a boundary with footnotes." "What about Matt?" Ethan asks. "He's a prop," Rosa says, not unkindly. "He can propose tomorrow, next week, anywhere except here." We loop in the banquet manager, who nods gravely. "If you give the signal, I'll kill house sound and lock the auxiliary inputs." "Only after slide 3, I say. "Let them feel the shape first." She smiles like a woman who enjoys a tidy line. I record a short voice memo, with Kira's consent, simply narrating what each slide shows and when the entries were made. It's not for the room. It's for afterward, when people try to rewrite it. I send a blind copy email to myself and Aunt Rosa with the attachments and subject line. "For the record, at 8:41 p.m. here is the truth." My fingers stop shaking. We rehearse the hand signal. We breathe. We return to the ballroom, where the cake knife glints and the crowd hums the way crowds do when a surprise is about to erupt. And then Olivia looks straight at me, lifts the mic, and says, "Don't freak out, Em. Don't freak out, Em." Olivia coos, already basking in the hush. "I promise this will make your night unforgettable." The ballroom leans toward her like flowers toward a heat lamp. Matt drifts closer, ring box trembling, a man trapped between love and a runaway train. My heart hammers a rhythm older than etiquette. I catch Ethan's eyes and raise our agreed-upon signal. Palm, steady, a traffic light turning red. He nods once and drifts toward the DJ like a bodyguard disguised as a groom. Aunt Rosa posts up at the tech table. Kira, saint of logistics, murmurs into her headset, "Stand by on house sound. Wait for the bride's cue." Olivia flashes a grin. Before dessert, a little surprise. "Olivia," I say, keeping my voice warm silk over steel. 2 sentences, tops." She cocks her head. "You'll want more than 2. Someone whoops. My mother clutches her clutch. "Girls," she whispers, "please." Olivia lifts the mic. "Matt and I will have your own beautiful night," I say, stepping closer, smile held like a shield. "Tonight is ours." Her gaze hardens. "Don't hoard the spotlight, Emma." "A spotlight isn't a public utility," I reply. "It's a boundary with electricity." The room lets out a nervous laugh. Olivia's thumb taps a phone behind her bouquet. The projector hums awake. On the rear scrim, a title card splashes, "A New Beginning." Kira's finger hovers over a switch. Ethan's hand lands on the DJ's fader. I feel the entire day, vows, flowers, faces, balance on the head of a single pin. "Roll it," Olivia says to the band, forgetting who gives orders here. Pause. I say to the room, remembering who signs the contracts here. Aunt Rosa murmurs into the calm. "Now." The projector blinks, skips Olivia's feed, and replaces it with slide 1. The altered run of show, gift reveal circled in red. Gasps ripple like wind in wheat. Olivia's smile stalls, then resumes, brittle as spun sugar. "What is this?" she laughs. "Receipts." I say softly enough that the first 3 rows lean in. My mother stands, eyes glassy. "Emma, is this necessary?" "Necessary is how we avoid lawsuits and ruined cakes," Aunt Rosa says. Olivia's thumb hovers over her phone, eyes darting. "Slide 2. I say, and Kira clicks. And when the burner domain email fills the screen, Matt quietly closes the ring box. Slide 2 might as well be an affidavit. The fake domain wearing my name like a stolen dress. Headers exposed, IP address logged, signature block scraped from my real emails. A murmur swells, the kind that means people are doing math. I breathe evenly. Our vendors were asked to reroute tonight using forged authorization. I say, voice steady enough to set cutlery. We declined. Olivia laughs too brightly. "Emma, you're overreacting. This was a sweet surprise." Kira, unflappable, advances to slide 3. The ballroom's late-night rehearsal booking under, "Oh, hail," engagement reveal. The timestamp plants its feet. The room inhales. Matt whispers, "Liv, you said they knew." Olivia's charm tries to reboot. "They did." "I didn't," I say gently. "We asked you not to." My mother sinks down. "Olivia, Please tell me you asked. Olivia stares at the screen as if it might finish the sentence for her. The banquet manager, shoulders squared, voice professional, steps up. For safety and liability, unapproved drops and extra rigging are prohibited. Any attempt would have required immediate shutdown. She nods to security. Present, not prowling. Aunt Rosa clicks her pen like a quiet metronome. Slide 4, I say. The florist invoice appears. Flower shower 12 a.m. Paid by co-host. A cousin gasps. That's why the ceremony arch looked light. She siphoned peonies. The room shifts, empathy becoming evaluation. Ethan squeezes my shoulder. I anchor to that pressure, the promise beneath the pageantry. Olivia licks her lips. Okay, so I got excited. But engagement joy is contagious. Joy needs consent, I say. Otherwise, it's a campaign. Her jaw ticks. You always need to control everything. I need to protect something. I answer, and the room says yes in silence. Slide 5, I say. The group chat screenshot bursts open. Mic check at 8:45, cue balloon drop, then announcement. Names blur except hers. The proof is weirdly tender, a record of someone trying too hard to be adored. Kira lowers the house, sound to velvet. People look to Olivia for a mea culpa, a pivot. She inhales, eyes wet, the mask wanting to be a face. The moment could still heal. Then Olivia laughs, sharp as a broken flute, and points at me. She's been jealous since we were kids. The room goes cold in that theater way, air sucked out by a bad line read. Jealous. I repeat, soft. Of what? Olivia lifts her chin. Of me being bigger. Always. People like me. People like truth, Aunt Rosa says, as if correcting a recipe. Kira, unruffled, brings up the final slide I didn't authorize, a side-by-side of Olivia's white slip and a Pantone swatch labeled not cream. The room titters. Kira shrugs with one shoulder, apology accepted by my grin. Olivia, I say, palms open. You could have had tonight as a sister, not a headline. Why did you need my vows as your trailer? Olivia's eyes glint. Because no one would watch my movie otherwise. It lands, disarmingly honest. Matt winces. Liv, he whispers, we can do this next week. She blinks at him as if he's speaking weather. Next week isn't viral. There it is, the motive, not romance, but reach. Kira cuts to a blank screen. I step closer to the mic, choosing each syllable like a stitch. I love my sister. I also love boundaries. So here's what's happening. The surprise sequence is canceled. Vendors will revert to the signed timeline. Matt, you are welcome here as our guest. Your engagement deserves joy, not someone else's stage. I look at the guests. Eat cake. Dance. Witness our marriage. And if you're tempted to rewrite what you saw, my inbox has everything you need. A beat. Then Ethan lifts his glass. To Emma, he says, voice strong, who planned a beautiful night and defended it with grace. Glasses rise like a tide. The band eases into a love song. My mother covers her mouth, shaking. I'm sorry, she whispers to me as I hug her. I wanted peace. We still have it, I tell her, because we told the truth. Olivia stands very still, spotlight turned to moonlight. She reaches for the mic. Security takes one measured step. She drops her hand. Then she smiles, brittle, bright, the kind that precedes an aftershock. She turns to Matt and hisses something I can't hear over the applause. The consequences don't wait for daylight. They arrive in formal wear. The florist corners Kira, apologizing for the co-host charge and offering to refund the add-on. The AV vendor emails an amended invoice zeroing out the unauthorized projector. The DJ brings back our playlist, sheepish but loyal, and cues the song I told him would feel like home. Guests split into camps. Team boundaries and team, it wasn't that serious. I smile at both. You can love people without joining their math. Matt finds me near the photo booth. Emma, I'm sorry, he says, bruised sincerity in his eyes. She told me you'd cheer. I should have asked you myself. Next time, I say, and his shoulders sag with relief at the word time. Take her home, I add. Take care of yourselves outside a spotlight. He nods, pocketing the ring box like a wound that needs a dark place to heal. Olivia disappears for 20 minutes. A bridesmaid reports seeing her in the hallway crying, then laughing, then typing. My phone buzzes, a post from Olivia captioned, "Tonight I learned that boundaries are a love language." The image is our faces as kids, sunburnt and gap-toothed. My stomach aches at the manipulation. My heart aches at the little girls who wanted the same lap. Aunt Rosa slides me a glass of water. Love her, she says, and love the door. I nod. The door. The one you can close and open with a key you hold. Back in the ballroom, I feel the cost. Adrenaline hangover, neck tight, a smear of icing on my veil from a hug that went too hard. Ethan rubs my shoulder. We did it, he murmurs. We defended the night. We'll still pay a price, I say. He kisses my temple. Good boundaries always invoice. By the time the last sparkler burns out, Mom is teary and contrite. She promises to call tomorrow. Olivia leaves without saying goodbye. The silence she leaves behind is louder than the band. I exhale into the winter air and count to 10, then to tomorrow, then to the rest of my life where I don't apologize for requiring consent. My phone pings again, an email subject line blinking like a lighthouse. Invoice dispute and vendor statements attached. Please review tonight. We wake to rain and the kind of quiet that feels earned. Brunch is scheduled for noon, and I almost cancel. Then I remember the plan's last stanza. Truth stays true in daylight. Kira meets us early with printouts, amended invoices, a short memo summarizing what changed, and a timeline annotated with who authorized what. It's boring, she says, which is how safety reads. Aunt Rosa hugs her like a niece. Boring is a sacrament, she murmurs. At brunch, a few guests avoid my eyes. Most beam relief. Mom squeezes my hands, thumbs circling apology. I'm proud of you, she says, voice small. I forgot that kindness can be firm. We eat eggs that taste like punctuation. Then Olivia arrives, sunglasses, damp hair, a brittle smile for the room. She hugs Mom and stops in front of me. For a second, I see the girl who braided my hair before 6th grade. I'm sorry, she says, the words trying out their weight. I got lost in a story about myself. I nod. We can write a new one, I say, but not over my pages. We sit with Aunt Rosa as witness. I slide across a one-page boundary agreement Rosa drafted last night between the cake and the car ride. Conditions in writing. No surprises at other people's events. No using my name or event codes. No posts about me without consent. A cooling-off period if emotions run hot. Consequences. Reduced contact for 30 days if violated. No joint holidays until repair. Olivia reads, flinches, then smiles thinly. You're making me sign a contract to be your sister? I'm asking you to respect the job description. I say. She signs. We do too. It's not magic. It's plumbing. Pipes that keep mess from flooding everything. After, Ethan and I slip to a side garden and read our vows again, softer, for us alone. The rain lets up like forgiveness. I text our therapist. We'd like to book a session for family boundary work. She replies with times. I choose the earliest. By afternoon, Olivia's post changes, a genuine apology, comments turned off, a picture of our cake. I don't trust it yet. I also don't need to. Healing isn't a headline. It's a schedule you keep. On the ride home, Ethan laces our fingers and says, ready for one more reveal? The reveal is in our living room. A low table, 2 cupcakes, my bouquet in a thrifted vase, and a tidy stack of papers held by a binder clip. Our wedding receipts, our corrections, our small, ordinary proof that love doesn't need spectacle to be witnessed. Ethan grins. I printed everything for the scrapbook, he says. Because one day our kids might ask why Aunt Olivia calls before posting. I laugh, then cry, because closure sometimes looks like paperwork and a man who doesn't flinch at it. That night, I write an email to the people who matter. Thank you for dancing. Thank you for letting truth be boring. If you ever feel your day being rewritten in real time, here's what helped us. Document everything. Speak calmly with evidence. Protect safety before pride. Invite witnesses who love justice more than applause. Put conditions in writing when you need a door. None of that is dramatic. All of it is durable. I think about Olivia as a child, inventing games where she always won. I think about me, inventing schedules where everyone could. We were 2 girls trying to control the weather with different tools. We are 2 women learning that weather will weather, and roofs matter more than forecasts. I don't hate her. I love her at a safe distance, hoping her next story stars a quieter kind of attention, the kind you don't have to steal. If you're watching this because your sister, friend, or parent turned your milestone into their stage. Hear me. You're not petty for wanting consent. You're protecting the architecture of joy. Build your roof in daylight. Invite good witnesses. Write the plan you'll need if hope is wrong. And when the moment comes, speak gently, show your receipts, and let the room decide.